Hello, legends and super legends.
Good
You
morning.
think you're seeing double? I didn't know you were wearing pink. But the pink it is. It's a cloudy day. The weather changed on us.
Yeah.
It's going to be cloudy instead of raining. And I had to change bikes real quickly because I'm going to take the orange bike. I had the fenders on the other bike that's hanging up the Colnago. So I just switched bikes. We're ready to go. I'm wearing the big, it's going to be cold. 10C, then it goes back to 7 or 8C. And out there it's going to feel like 5C. So I'm wearing my big gloves and liners.
Like wearing the same thing, this, and then big liners. It's in a car.
So we're not playing. We're planning to spend a lot of time on the bike. And so that's it. I got money in my wallet.
Our
We're
feet
gonna
are
get
covered,
food.
as you can
Yeah.
see.
Got 2 base layers and this thermal jersey.
Yeah.
You don't want your torso too warm. It's your hands, your head, your neck, and your feet. You can see I got this little neck warmer that's gonna seal me.
Right.
Okay, my brother?
I have some over
Yeah,
here.
pull that out. So
Yeah,
he's got the protein thermal jersey there, and it's got a neck warmer built in. That's the one I got in pink.
Right.
I jumped on it. 56 bucks, I was all over it like a rash. Okay, we gotta go. We're running behind. It's 6:53. We should have left at 6:45 to get up there, guys. I don't wanna rush.
Okay, we'll see you guys after the ride.
Get your K's in.
On this ride, Paul and I left Northampton, rode to the Ashland YMCA. We almost missed the group, but we picked them up on the road. We had to call out to them for them to wait. Went into Fish Creek Drive all the way towards Hornier. It was a pretty good pace. We went through Ribbon Chapel Road down to Montgomery on 2854. We cut on 149. We split up there and we continued towards Richards. They went on Bailey Grove Road. When we're heading towards Richards, we took a bypass and cut through some roads out on Bays Chapel Road, and it was really interesting to go to Richards that way. So we went out and back. That's Bays Chapel Road to 149. Went into Richards, filmed the store. I think you'll find it interesting. Came back, took Bailey Grove Road. We did not go on 1097. We took Bailey Grove, the piece that we call the Guerrilla Route, into Dacus, 1486, to a new road you haven't seen called Mount Moriah Road over there into Bobville. And then we stopped the filming there. After that, we went through the Tri-Lakes area where it says Gary, took Springebury Road to 149. And we took that into Hornier, cut back to backtrack basically the early part of the ride. It was a lot of out and back exploring when we were on our own. That it ended up being 8 hours plus. So I hope you will enjoy the clips.
We were late, so we had to hustle. They had to wait for us. We caught them on the road. But I really caught them. They waited for us.
Yeah, we chased up. We saw them before we got to the Y at the intersection before
We
the
got
Y.
in the area at 7:33. They were already rolling. We saw them at the intersection and chased them and we yelled. And then we can't mess around with these guys.
The wind is out here, of course. It's very cold, windy from the north, and we're headed north. Paul bought a gift for Mo. Mo had a birthday last week, and with Christmas and everything, so it was like a combination gift. And Paul, we've been trying to get it to him, and we just never had the opportunity at the other ride. So Paul has it under his jersey, and in a few kilometers you'll see us give it to him. We make a joke that it has kryptonite in it, lead line to slow him down. I see him wearing full leggings, so I said, you know it's cold when Mo covers his entire leg. Usually he just wears knee warmers. Mo's on the right.
You know it's cold when Mo covers his full leg.
Jerry asked what? Now rolled up,
I said, you know it's cold when Mo covers his entire leg.
and Mo hears me, he laughs.
Yeah.
That's Mike F up there. Mo and Paul are chatting. I don't know the other guys. I got one of their names. There are two guys. They didn't finish the ride with us. They ended up turning into a subdivision off of Fish Creek. One of them, his name is Mike. I'll point him out. On the far right, in the light colored jersey. The guy in the front pulling right now, his name is Fabian. Pronounces he's from Mexico. Kind of like, he pronounces his Fabian, but it's spelled the same way like Fabian, like Cancellara, Fabian's first name. He rides with Mo and them a lot. I have the camera right now. I'm sitting on the back. And these guys just started. Look at the speeds. We're going into the wind. If you notice, my heart rate is in zone 1, like the bottom of zone 1. The last month, I've ramped up the mileage to the point where now my zones have changed to where, well, not changed, they've widened. So I'm putting out more power in my zones. So it takes more work before I creep out of zone 1. And you'll see today we sprint with, to try to keep up with Mo. And I only got to like 160, which is below sweet spot, which is like tempo. Well, Paul and I happen to be wearing pink. I didn't know he was wearing pink. I'm gonna start coordinating. We have certain jerseys that we have the same. We're gonna start coordinating. But I wore the pink because it's overcast and the pink is very visible. And then I put on the pink shoe covers. I got that a couple of seasons ago, I believe, maybe last season. And Paul was gonna try to get one, and it was just sold out. And they haven't brought it back since. I like that. It's not the warmest. I mean, it's really for 10C and up, and then it's water resistant. It'll help protect your feet. I mostly use it for cool days, cool to mild. I like how it's unobtrusive. When you put it on, it does not get in the way. It feels like you just have your shoe on. You don't feel like you have a cup. The design is nice. That's Fabian on the left, and he has nothing on his knees. I give him credit because it's cold. You see it says 6C. I think it will drop. I don't know if it stays there or go low. It didn't warm up much today. Every time I would look down, I would see 41, 42, and we're going into the winds, so it felt colder. Paul is greeting Fabian. He's asking Fabian, we're riding during the week, we're heading west in the morning, and we saw a rider coming east on 1488. I knew it was Fabian. So Paul was asking him, was that you we saw the other day?
Yeah, man.
I think it was Thursday. It was the day after the rainstorm. The guy on the right, his name is Mike. I asked him for his name. I didn't get to meet the guy on the left. They didn't stay with us too far. At Fish Creek, they turned into one of the subdivisions. This is Mike F in front of the camera in front of me here. And that's Jerry up there. Jerry puts in a tremendous amount of miles on a regular basis. He's a member of the Veloharmony Club on Strava. He's a member of the Woodland Cycling Club, virtual and reality. So he dominates all the leaderboards. He's got a lot of KOMs. He's always shooting for Strava segments. I'm not that into Strava that much. I used it because of the channel. I really started it because of the Festive 500 in 2016. And it's a nice tool, but I don't have any of their Summit and stuff like that. I don't use it. I load the rides there, that's it. Move on to other things. I've got software on my PC that handles all my analysis.
Just a second.
I took the camera from Paul. He had it for a bit. Now we're gonna give Mo his birthday slash
Hey, Mo.
Christmas present.
Mo, since you're a year older, we got you something to slow you down.
Yeah.
We got you something to slow you down. He's getting his present. You got a present. Hopefully that will slow you down. Green up. You carry it. Happy birthday. Merry Christmas.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, Mo.
We got lead line jersey with some kryptonite mixed in. That should get him back to be a mere mortal.
So watch Mo. I don't know if you get to see him. He put the jersey. We got Paul got him a jersey. He put the jersey under his jersey, in between his bib and his base layer. So he lifted
I'll
the
take
bib
the
and just
cold
slipped it
versus
on
the
his
rain.
spine,
Was
and
it
it just
Thursday,
disappeared.
Paul?
That's
Did
an
that
old
rain beat us
present.
up? Was it Thursday or Wednesday?
I think
It was Wednesday.
He's already put it up. Yeah, that's some roadkill there. So he's already put it up. He's gonna drift back here. And Paul's gonna call it Humpty because he got a little bit of a hump there where he put the jersey. Just in your spine. That's how we carry things. He's gonna tell us a story in a little bit about how, you know, he carries stuff. He went to Italy last October and took place in a big race. And so they give him food and wine. That's what they do over there when you place. And he tells us it's a very good story. So I took out all the music. You'll hear it in a little bit. Mo's got many stories. Mo does not do too much talking about himself, so it was appropriate to talk about it because of how he stored the jersey. He's carrying all kinds. So Paul calls him Humpty. He's feeling for it right there. He's got the jersey in his spine, under his bib shorts, above his base layer. That's how you carry stuff. I carry my jacket. Paul, we put a jacket with Paul's last week.
I'll tell you a story about the race I did in Italy. I did a race in Italy in October. Kicks and giggles. I finished in the prize. So I had actually, because I didn't have a car, so I had driven. I had driven my bike there.
Okay.
It was only, I don't know, maybe 15 miles. So I do the race, place, and I get the prizes. And in Italy, they give you all these. I had a leg of pasta, eggs and sausage, a bunch of little pies,
Yeah.
and a bottle of wine. So I'm like,
Which one do you carry?
so I'm filling every single pocket. I mean, I was full of all
Put
this
stuff
stuff
inside the
groceries.
jersey.
And I'm riding with 10, 15 miles with my bottle of wine in the back. And I see people coming, you know, passing me in the car. The horn.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, drink it. Riding with a bottle of wine or something.
That is so cool. He had to carry all his prizes in the jersey. This was last October. He went to Italy to visit and just did a race while he was there and placed. You know, they don't play in Italy. That's serious racing. You know, so we call him what's his name? Christian Colonello. Christian Colonello typed on Mo's page. He said, "Campione." That means champion in English. On Mo's birthday ride. So we continue to chat about old school cycling. He starts to tell me how the guys used to carry sodas in their pockets. You know, it's glass. And he was saying how dangerous it was. That's what we're talking about. You can't get it because the camera's with Paul. But that's what we're talking. We're talking about the golden years of cycling. The guys would carry champagne. They go in the stores on the way during the tour, and people would give them free drinks because the tour was coming through town. And they would have soda bottles in their pockets for their teammates and stuff. And I've seen that in the old films from like the, you know, 30s and 40s and whatever. And Mo's dad used to race, not at a professional level, but he used to do bike racing. But this is all what I learned on this ride. So you get these little snippets. So he's talking about how the sport has come a long way to where everything's plastic now, so it's safer. Even your glasses, the glasses we wear, they're not plastic. I remember Bernard Hinault had a crash when Lemon was in the tour with him, and he broke his nose, or the bridge of his nose. I believe the glasses cut him because he was wearing regular glasses instead of plastic lenses. That's what we're talking about. So I said golden era, the golden era of cycling. So you have to work, you have to get your K's in. There's no way around it. Otherwise, everything just seems hard. We've been riding so much that, it's like having a larger capacity in each zone just has made riding so much fun. Today that I'm narrating, we went for a ride, a New Year's Eve ride before Paul returns back to his regular schedule. And there was a section of the ride where we just gave it a stick. And no matter how hard I was pushing, 137, 139, and we were moving. I mean, even the drivers that were coming around us were on a narrow road. They could tell we were working. We were just in a tight pace line. And we really enjoyed it. But it was nice knowing that I had so much more, even though we're going hard. That just comes from riding a lot. And you just you make the most out of whatever talent you have. That guy is in the left lane. I think we're turning left, so I move in the left lane too. Then I realized we're going straight. Now he's told that we're going straight, so he comes back over. I never got his name. The guy in front of him, his name is Mike. Never met him before. It's the first time. So usually when I get a chance, I go up and I ask people and introduce myself.
You got it?
Yeah.
So in a little bit, I'll let Jerry know there's a car coming in that lane to turn.
Hey, Jerry, there's a car in that lane.
There's a guy coming to turn, so he needs to come on. So he moves over.
Most of it's a little bit of a headwind. I don't know about no blue.
It was cold. Even though I had my liners, my hands were cold. Paul and I spent so much time out there. So, in fact, today when we went out, temperatures were similar, about 5 or 6 C, which is like 40, 41 Fahrenheit. And I went ahead and wore thicker liners, and I was perfectly dressed. My hands and my feet are the two areas I'm most concerned with. Of course, my knees, I covered them. But if those are warm, then I can regulate my temperature better. Of course, I always cover my head, because you lose a lot through your head. We rode in the rain, and we used shower caps over our helmets, and it was perfect. Yesterday, Sunday, we went out, it rained, and it was cold. So we put shower caps on, and we were never wet. We stayed dry. So just a few things here and there makes a difference. We were very equipped. It was great. I've gotten my money's worth out of those mud guards. This guy lets the gap open because I think he realizes the pace is kind of high. He doesn't want to be near the front. This is Mike. I noticed that I went on to. Not sure who's at the front. Riding on that shoulder. One thing I noticed about Mo, he does not waste his energy. If he's sitting on your wheel, he's going to be close. Which makes sense. The point of working hard from the back. And on this ride, I had really good legs and participated in the action you will see down the road. It gets hot and heavy. Participated. And as Chris Roxbury had joked about, Paul is not blowing into the camera, guys and girls. It's the wind. This time of year, we get fronts galore. They keep coming in and they blow in. That's why we got rain. The weekend before, then we got Sunday. The day after this ride, heavy rain. And we were in it riding. It was fun. It was just a nice day. When you have the right equipment, nothing really is a problem for any kind of weather. And so the wind's just blowing straight from the north. So it may say 6C, it feels like 2. So it was cold. So even with my liners and my heavy gloves, my hands were cold. My feet got a little chilled. We were out there for a while. But you see my right pocket? I've got 5. That's why it's punched up. You see it looks like a fist is in there. I've got 5 gels and 4 bars in there. Because I knew we'd be out here for a while. Our plan was to go long. We were planning on hooking up with these guys and then for a little while, and then we're going to do our own thing. That's kind of what we're going to be doing, because a lot of times on Saturdays now will be our long day. And unless we get a group that's also going long, we'll just do our own thing. It's always better with the group anyway, because you can cover more ground, because you're drafting, you have more people. So wherever possible, if we find a group that is not going to be wasting time, we definitely will go with them. But we're not going to be waiting around for groups that stop too much. So we'll film them, get some action, and then to film the solo part. And the second reason we're doing that is really one of our big supporters, Robert Tangler, had mentioned that he missed some of the riding where it would be Paul, myself, and maybe another rider. He learned more. And it's just different. You got to see it up close. Like a small classroom, you learn better, I guess. That's the way to look at it. So we figure we'll get the best of both worlds. If we have a group that's just not moving along, then we'll have, like today, we have a group that is moving, but they were only doing 80 kilometers. We ended up doing 200. So we let them go and we went north. They were going west. But for this part, we hung with it. So Mike F pulls off. We rolled through. I don't know if it's Mo at the front. I know he's up there. I don't know if he's pulling right now. He might be. Yeah, I think he's pulling. I think Mo is pulling. Mo is very easy to follow. And Mo is pulling regardless of the pace. It can be hard, but it's so steady that you can hang on. And that's the thing. You can be at your limit with a steady pace and seem more tolerable. But when the pace is changing a lot, it stresses you more. So I sit and I just spin. And all I'm doing here is making sure that I'm close. The weather is affecting the gimbal because it's cold. When it's below 10°C, we found the gimbal has problems. So Paul adjusted it. You can see he lost a little ground, and now he's kicking back to catch up. What we did on this ride, as it got harder, there was a part where we decided we're going to share the work on the camera. You'll see Paul hand me the camera, and I tell him, "You read my mind." That's much later, maybe about 7 or 10 kilometers later. Because I take a pull later, and then as I pull off, Paul is behind me. I go ahead and tell him not to sit up there. So as he pulls through, I take the camera from him so I can film him going through. So that's all the food in my pocket on the right. I got my patch kit on the left. Later in the right, you'll see that pocket is smaller. Because we did a lot of eating. We did not skim. In this film, we take you guys to Richards with us, and we introduce you to the Richards grocery, and we show you the jerky that they make there. It's a local, I think it's a local supplier or whoever, but they have them in little bags. It's just very tasty. We like them so much. We got back from this ride. My wife went to the store and got some of the Jack Link's jerky. We like the teriyaki flavor. She got the original and teriyaki. More just pulled off. It's blowing his nose. When it's cold like that, your nose runs. After this ride, it took me a while to warm up in the house. I usually shower and then I put on warm stuff. I dress sometimes in the house like I'm going out to cycle just to keep my body warm after a long ride. So you see my heart rate's 122, 123. That's the thing about heart rate. That's specific to me and my current fitness level. Normally it would be maybe 140. So 15 beep drop for the same effort. it's very significant. So my body has adapted to the increase in volume that we've given it. That's because we incorporate a lot of rest. Those of you who follow me on Strava, you've noticed there's a lot of Rafa Festive 500 where I said easy, recuperation, all of that is built in. Every ride is different. You don't want to ride hard all the time. You just wear yourself down. Your quality will suffer. You see, we're coasting, my heart rate has already dropped. There were times when I was riding, it was below 100. Like around that 107. I stay to the right so the wind can slow me down, as Jerry pulls. Jerry rides monster miles. Jerry is very, very strong, and he basically lives on the bike. I thought I was bad. He makes me look like a pedestrian. He's in the Veloharmony Club. Those of you who are in the Veloharmony Club on Strava, when you follow me on Veloharmony on Strava, you can also join the club so that when you ride, you can compare your stats with the club members. I'm soft pedaling there to just keep my speed. It helps the people behind me, the way I don't have to brake. I'm trying to match his speed. We're going downhill, and I'm drafting him so well that I have to soft pedal to avoid overlapping and having to make adjustments so that people following me find it easier to follow me. I love when Paul does this. I know we're doing it to clear the gimbal, but look, get a good view of this guy back here. I think it's Mike. He's smiling. Paul's holding the camera out in his left hand. I think he wanted to take a view. He wasn't just adjusting the gimbal. But that's one of the joys of not having it mounted. The views that we can give you are varied. Jerry's done. He pulled over to the left. I move a little over so I can go by him. I'm not sure what Paul said to Jerry, but they shared a joke. Jerry's a very nice gentleman. Jerry's been going and congratulating us. We put in so many kilometers, especially for the Festive 500. He'd noticed that we ramped up the work. Paul was on vacation. We had the time, and I figured we'll do memorable rides. And we've just been discovering different routes within the current routes we knew. We found one today, and we were thrilled. Close to home, new road that created a loop out and back. There's just one section where there's a lot of construction, and we had to give it a stick. They have the Spring Creek Bridge on 2978 with just 2 lanes and no shoulder. So we're hoping that they hurry up and finish that. They're widening the bridge, so it definitely will be better, but I hope we can get it done quickly because we want to start using that loop. Found a quiet loop, lots of climbs. You see my cadence, guys and girls? You don't have to pedal out 100. Just make sure whatever gear you're in, you're not laboring, you're on top of it. That you own the gear. That's all that matters. And if you need to shift, you shift because the terrain's going to change. Now you notice I'm at the front, my heart rate went up to 145. I'm just now hitting the endurance zone. And we've been riding. And we're riding hard here. So here it is, I'm in zone 2, pulling this fast group. That's what training will do for you. And so because of that, I can stay there longer to get my workout. But if I were dying, then I would just get off the front if I were not as fit. Someone who's not fit would probably be in zone 4 or just wouldn't even be able to take a pull. Listen to the wind. That's why it's cold. It was blowing in the entire day. Even today, Monday, it rained. So Sunday and Monday we had rain. It's finally clearing up Monday afternoon. but it's still cold. As I pull, I'm well aware of my sensations. I'm not looking at heart rate, anything. I'm paying attention to how I feel. Because I know that it's a long day in the saddle. Plus, I wanted to do this section, the first part of this ride with these guys. I look for traffic, then I pull over and I motion for Paul. That's why I put my arm out and did my finger in a circle. I took the camera from Paul. You see him roll through. Yeah, I took the camera, he rolled through, and he pulls off the front right away. There's no point in him pulling because the last time we rode with these guys, you guys saw he was struggling. So what we're doing is basically tell him, save all your energy and hang on.
What's your name, buddy? Mike.
That's
nice
Mike.
to meet you, Mike. Eldred here. That's Paul.
That's why I met Mike. This is where they're going to let the group go. I gave Paul the camera and I'm waiting for him. And we'll ride up to these guys and then I see a gap and I just ride around them. Because I can tell they're not following. I don't even hesitate. That's for Paul to let him know we're going. And then they tell us that they're turning. So I ride up to the tail of the group. Always have to be alert. So by doing it the way we did, it's something new we're trying. We didn't really even discuss it. I just took the camera from him as he went by and told him to pull off the front. So we got to film him going through and coming off the front and the other person taking over. And then once we got back to the back, I gave him the camera. And I thought that's kind of nice. Instead of having him just drop back like he usually does, we're gonna have him pull through. So even when he gets stronger with this group, because with Team RR, he's going to take his cuts at the front. So with this group, when he decides he's going to be pulling, he will give me the camera as he takes his pull after I pull off if he's behind me. That way you guys don't miss any of the action. I like this shot here. See, you can see the gear I'm in. I'm in like a 53, 23 or 21, something like that. I kept my gears as low as possible for the speed we're doing, whatever speed we're doing. You can see how the pink booties really stand out, but they match the jersey, and then my hands, I put black, and then the tights are black. So you can see all of it. I have pink gloves, but if I had worn that, it would have been too much pink. So if I were to wear a black jersey, black shorts, and I could wear pink gloves and maybe pink boots would be perfect. So I could wear the pink overshoes, pink gloves, and then with black outfit, all black. All of it would pop. So I put a lot of thought into my outfits, and I think it's necessary. I don't do anything by chance when it comes to things that matter. I packed more food than I thought I would need. I finished the ride with one gel in my pocket, I believe. So Mike F takes his pull, he pulls off. Paul rode really strongly today. Until we started the sprints on Mill Route, he was right in the mix. He climbed the overpass really well because if you all remember, I rode with this group and the first time I went over the overpass with them, I was dropped. Mo had to wait for me. They were going so fast, it felt like I was riding behind a truck. And now I can pull with them and everything. You know, this is the thing. This is what it takes. I'm glad to have been able to share that progression with you guys, because I really had not done much of this level of riding in the past few years. We just have been doing, but you saw how much conditioning we did, just the two of us in the winters. We just do a lot of riding. That's what it takes. When I'm riding like that, you see me drift a little to the left, then more to the right. I can sense the rider behind me. And Paul was moving left, so I moved right. I can catch the wind, he can catch the wind. Looks like Fabian is at the front. Fabian. I keep trying to call him Fabian. It's just that the pronunciation is different. He calls himself Fabian. Being from Mexico, I think they pronounce it differently than the guys from the European Union, like I believe Cancellares or Switzerland. Fabian is a strong rider. He rides with Mo and them often. You can see, even though Jerry's standing, Jerry did not allow his wheel to come back on my wheel. So what he did before he stood, he shifted up, and then he put pressure on the pedal. He stood on the downward stroke. So it did not affect me at all. So there's a lot of little things. If you're going to be standing in a group, I've ridden with people where before they stand, they would yell standing. I'm like, why do I need to know that? You know, if you do it right, you don't need to be announcing that you're standing. So when you ride behind people, learn to soft pedal. What I'm doing right there is soft pedaling. That helps me maintain my position without overshooting the rider in front. Then I'm going to drift a little to the right there, to catch the wind. That's my braking. The wind's braking me. Then I come back and then I pedal. This is why you must be attentive the entire time. There is no multitasking in cycling. You need to ride your bike. That means read the road, look for potholes, glass, whatever, and avoid them. Know when to unload your bike so you don't tear up your wheels. All of that. There's too much involved when you're riding. That's why I don't get bored. There's a lot involved. And it's different every time you go out. So Fabian pulls off. And I don't know how he did it with no knee coverings. I give him credit. It was cold the entire day. Never warmed up. It stayed 6C or less. It had been forecasted that it would get to 10C. Maybe in the city it did, but not while we're out there. We're going directly into the wind, blowing from the north. The roads are going up and down. We know the overpass is coming, so the key here is that you keep your cadence comfortable. You don't want to get out of breath, and you don't want your legs to tighten. So you have to get a perfect blend between power and cadence, meaning muscular power versus spinning a gear. You don't want to over rev. So I just stay in a gear that's comfortable. I'm probably in a 5323, which is like the equivalent of a 3917. A 62-inch gear is probably what I'm in. I do everything by feel. If it's heavy, I shift down and spin. If it's too light, I shift up. The overpass is coming. It's a long climb and it's hard. It's around 3% plus. And it's, it just kicks. We're right at the shoulder here because the traffic volume is deep. It's pretty high, and the shoulder is a good width. There's a lot of debris on the right. We'll stay close to the white line. So as a courtesy to the drivers, we're going slower because we're climbing. 25 kilometers is probably 16, 17 miles an hour in a 45 zone. So we stay to the right. Where it really kicks. And we're done. After we go down the overpass here, when we're going to turn left on Capitol Hill Road. Mo pulled to the right and he asked Jerry if Jerry wanted to come to the front because Jerry was coming alongside him and Mo thought that maybe Jerry wanted to take a pull. But Jerry was not ready to go to the front, so Mo resumed his position. So Mo had ridden up that climb in the lead. So he just went back to the front and continued pulling. He thought Jerry wanted to take a pull. So he kind of moved over. He asked Jerry, do you want to come up here? And Jerry just held his position. So right here, I look behind to check for traffic because the road narrows, the shoulder ends. And since there's none, I take the road. I'm right on those guys. I'm not wasting any unnecessary energy. I'm staying close. We're going into the wind. I have good legs this morning. My body has adjusted to all the kilometers that we've been putting in for the last month. And as you can see, I'm still in endurance zone, the bottom of zone 2. As we ride. While I'm riding, I don't look at that. I've mentioned before my heart rate setting on the displays at the bottom. I keep cadence at the top. I look at it more when I'm doing the narration or when I analyze my data. During the ride, when you're out riding, it's more important to pay attention to how you feel. And if you feel real crappy, then you can glance at one of your gadgets to know what power area or what heart rate zone is causing you problems, or what power area or heart rate zone you feel like you're flying. For reference only, that's it. We turn on Capitol Road here. So I'll go ahead and just I try to ride up the Mo here. Because it's hard here. He's been pulling for a while. We're working. I'm not working too hard to do this. Blow my nose because the weather causes your nose to run. Look, make sure nobody's around me, and then I blow my nose and ride up to these guys. Same gear, just increase my cadence. Paul may have had some problems with the camera here. But Mo and I both looked back to see what was going on with him. Plus he knew we were doing a long day, so he wasn't going to kill himself to keep up with these maniacs. You you can see why I brought a lot of food. I was pretty much ready. I was ready to restock my energy stores. And so I just wanted to kind of test myself today. And I'm glad we hooked up with these guys, at least for the first part of the ride. So I saw Mo drifting back for him. He's coming on down the hill here. We're still riding. We're not waiting. Paul's riding up to us with Mo. We did not slow down. That means they're doing 33 to 35 to come up to us. And we're all together here. I think he was messing with the camera after that turn. I think that's where it had an extreme angle and the gimbal kind of failed on him or something. You can see right here, the view is compromised. I think he will correct it. When he turned there, yeah, you can see. It went up to the sky and I think he's correcting it. Right there, you can see it flipped up. After he made that turn, it was such an extreme angle that the gimbal was overloaded. So when it's overloaded, it basically goes limp. It turns off the motor. It's like a default mode, I guess. Now he fixed it. We're back in business. So he told me about it after we broke away from these guys when we separated to continue our epic ride. That's one of the things we chatted about. And so we're still trying to figure out the limits of the removable S1 gimbal. But it does not like extreme angles. It's almost like when you do a turn to turn in your car, lock the lock, steering, and you keep it there, you can kind of put a lot of strain on it. So it powers off when it's under too much strain and something exceeds the calibration. Prevents the motors from getting damaged, I believe. You see, I'm in there. I am tight in the. I'm not playing around. It's windy. I'm staying up there tight. Paul is here. You see, you can't even see this guy whole wheel. We're going into the wind. You gotta stay close. Jerry's the only one leaving a big gap, but he rides up, and then Fabian will go up. Mike F is pulling right now, and I'm on his wheel, and Mo is on my wheel, and Jerry's on Mo's wheel. Fabian is on Jerry's wheel, and Paul is sitting on Fabian's wheel, and we're rolling. I take over after the intersection coming up. Right there, Mike F pulls to the left. That's Mike F on the left. He pulls off, and I just basically take over with the same effort that he was putting out. Keeping everything steady, knowing that we got 2 climbs coming up in excess of 3%. You see my cadence. I'm at the front. I'm dealing with the wind. It's not the time to get your legs to tighten up. You keep your cadence at your cruising cadence or higher. as we begin this climb, I ease into it by downshifting and kicking up my cadence. I go down at least 2 cogs. Don't really know what I'm spinning, but I suspect it's a 23 or 21. A 53, 23, or 21. About a 62-inch gear. And I use my cadence. That's what you want because you can sustain it into the wind and up the hill. It's hard here. And I know I had planned to just pull the whole stretch. So 26, 27 kilometers an hour. We're pulling around almost 17, 18 miles an hour into the wind up a climb. Now my heart rate's creeping up into tempo. I love it when Paul spins the camera around like this because even though he's trying to fix the gimbal, it gives us a view of the surroundings. We come out here because this is all that's out here, guys and girls. Trees, cows, squirrels, possums. You know, your cars now and then, but it's just quiet, few homes. And as we went downhill, I shifted up to keep the tempo the same. Now this road's going up again. It's shorter here. At that corner, I downshifted again. I'm probably in a 25, and then I pull off to the left. Right there, I pull off. And Jerry says, "Good pull, Eldred." I gave him thumbs up. Right there. And now I'm looking for the camera, and Paul's read my mind. He handed me the camera.
You read my mind.
I told him, "You read my mind." He didn't hear me in that wind. So in a little bit, I ride up and I tell him. Because my plan was to take the camera from him so he can focus on riding in this section because in about a kilometer or so, we turned left onto a road called Mill Route.
You read my mind, my brother. You read my mind. I was coming together.
Mill Route has a lot of hills up and down. So I plan to get the camera from him and let him focus on riding. This stretch here is not that difficult. Somewhat downhill to flat. Just, you know, a little twisty, but other than that. This road is called South Pine Lake Road. If you go straight, it will take you to 105. We don't go straight. We're going to be turning on Mill Route Road. And Mill Route Road has a bunch of trees overhanging the road in full coverage in a lot of spots, and it's up and down. Short, spiky hills. Turn the corner here. If you watch, these boys don't let up. If you're not alert, you gotta close the gap. Paul stands up, he rides up there. I'm staying close to Mike F. camera situated. Quite a few times I had to spin it around. You know, it's cold. It just now it says 5C, so the temperature is actually going down as we head north. You can see Mike has his knee covered. They make shorts like those, that bib shorts that all in one piece. I think he may be wearing arm warmers. I don't know if they're knickers. They might be knickers. The design is hard to tell, but they might be. But yeah, knickers are good because you got your knee covered. That's the main thing you need covered. I wear those when it's 45 and gonna be higher than that. I can wear the knee warmers. It's gonna stay very cold. I just cover my whole leg. And this has been going on for almost an hour, so it's hard here. See that hill up there coming up? May not be much, but the way we ride it, you feel it. Paul's had enough. He's like, I'm gonna save my energy. We got a long day today. I knew we were gonna wait at the corner at a minimum for Paul, so I stayed with these guys to see what do they really do, because I haven't ridden with them that much. I get the camera situated. I want the camera to capture because it was at an odd angle, so I spun it around. I do it again. And what I noticed is every time the road went up, these boys were hammering. Just like Paul and I did when we went to Richards. So mentally, you just get yourself ready. And then this road's going up. I know they're gonna go again. Look at my cadence. I don't know what gear I'm in. It doesn't matter. I just turn it. If it feels too easy, I shift up. The hill's causing my cadence to drop, but I didn't shift. I kept the same gear. Now I'm at the top of tempo. This is hard. Nobody wants to be at the front at this point. Mo is doing a good enough job, and we're happy to let him sit there. Mo has awesome acceleration. When he starts to sprint, it's hard to make up ground on him. He was teasing Jerry after this action. He told Jerry, I got a motor here. Here's the button for it. I got a motor on my bike. There's a rider on the right. Yeah, he stopped. So look at the gap Mo has. So I see the gap and I ride up there. And then it started coming in. I just go ahead and back off. I didn't want to do too much. Manually adjusted the camera there. I was like, enough of this. Do your job. Somebody said P brake. I think it was Mike F. Said P brake. And I told Mo I'm gonna wait for Paul also. So I pull over to the left here. I'm gonna go ahead and take a nature break here. So it was good to hang with the boys, you know. I felt good. My heart rate dropped like 20 beats just on that downhill.
Stopping for a nature break. All right, guys, I want you to look at that hill. We took an excursion off the beaten path on the way to Richards. And look at what we ran into.
This was on our, after we let the group go.
We're taking a nature break in the woods. So, car just went by and we're excited after seeing that hill. This road is quiet. We've been on the road for like 15 minutes and we had one car pass. A little truck just went by. The road is just wide enough for one vehicle. It's almost like an old wagon trail. So instead of staying on 149 in the forest, we took an excursion and we've discovered a gem. So I'm going to definitely look at the map. And next, we're going to come out here more because this road has equivalent hills and literally zero traffic. Paul's ready to roll. We're going to go. We're going to film that, just this section, so you guys can see. We've been riding 5% hills back here and no cars. So this road, when there's a car coming, yeah, it came out. That was just the brush. When there's a
This
car
road
coming,
is like
we have
chip
to pretty
seal.
much get off the road because only one
not that bad.
vehicle can fit. These are like the little paths that they have in the UK. Just enough for a vehicle. Yeah, somebody had mentioned that. Look at this bad boy. Now the camera's behaving.
It's beautiful. This is better than staying on
But now,
149.
anyway, yeah,
Go to Richards.
it'll be
We
okay.
enjoyed it so much more.
Watch the bumps.
So we're gonna make it a regular part of our ride anytime we go to Richards. It adds more kilometers
Guys,
to
this
it.
is what we call chip
Probably
seal.
about 5 kilometers.
It's not smooth. I gotta do some research into why they do it because it's just rough. You feel the little rocks, even though they're sealed in there. And I guess that's what they mean, chip and seal or chip seal. I will look that up. I need to understand why they do it. It's not very comfortable even in a car. This is 6%. I got a downshift here. Unless a protest. My goodness. 7.5? Wow.
It's a 7.5% climb and it's long.
We've discovered a gem. I will definitely log this on our route. This is a Cedar Hill. The Cedar Hill loop.
We started on
7.5%.
Cedar Hill, but
That's
this
good.
road is called
Look at this road.
Hokie.
Look at all the
H-O-K-E. Hokie Road. Or Hoke. I think it's Hokie. There's no sign on the corner. I had to look it up on the map after I got back.
You know, it's funny, 7.5% I'm talking and running the camera. I would never have dreamed. Yeah, you know, I should be dying. I'm talking and running the camera. So, no, I did not.
So we rode with those guys as far as 149. They went west, we went north. They took Bailey Grove.
You know? I want to film that old store where the jerky is.
This is Bayes Chapel
What road
Road.
is this
We've been
now?
on here before.
Oh, I know what road is. This is the road the church is on.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. Yeah, remember we came that way. Yeah.
Those of you who remember the video
What's
with the
the
trail
There's no
ride.
sign here. No wonder we couldn't find this road. There is no sign here on the corner.
Let's go that way and see what's down.
But you remember the dirt road? You remember where the
It
trail
dead ends
was?
the way he wants to go.
Over there will take
We'll
us.
check
I mean,
it out.
we can
It's
go
got
check it
nice
out.
climbs.
Come on, let's go.
We can always come back, man.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I know what road we're on.
Bayes Chapel
So
Road.
we go on another adventure here. We're gonna go north, and then we're gonna have to come back.
Go this way because look in the distance, up and down. Then we're going north now. We're gonna have to come back south and then go north on 149 to get to Richards because this road does not get you to Richards. This is the road the trail ride was on, and it becomes a dirt road in about 7 or 8 kilometers down the road. We don't go that far. We just exhaust some of the hills and turn around. So we're heading north on Bayes Chapel Road at this point. I'm just enjoying the quiet solitude of this road. Got a car every now and then. Now with the full gloves on, I can't put my hand in the pocket because you can't tell where the seam is for the pocket. So I push the food up I work it up, and then I grab it and get it out of the
We're
pocket.
still on descent, -3.
I did it while we're descending. That's what Paul's telling me. The descent is -3. That means when we come back, we're gonna be climbing. At least 2.5% on the way back. That's the way my mind works. If you descend too long, that's gonna be a long climb on the way back.
Yeah.
So I took the gel and it ended up squirting on my bike and on my shorts. That's what I'm looking at, trying to rub it up because it hardens on the bike. What happened is, if depending on how you're holding the package, when you rip off the top, it can squirt out if you're squeezing it too much. And it's windy. I don't want to do hands-free anything.
Yeah.
Not sure what I'm doing with the front there. I think maybe I saw something on there. I don't know. But once I got home, I cleaned the bike right away. You don't want the gel to sit on there; it just hardens. It had already hardened when we got back. We rode for so long. We ended up just taking the long way home, going to Mount Moriah. We have clips on Mount Moriah. I think you guys will really enjoy. It's a beautiful road. So we have found more interesting ways to go to Richards that does not involve the major highway. I'm basically making sure that gel, it's on my glove there. And I want to make sure I don't get it all on the bar.
Road.
I'm much rather wipe it on the shore. Get it on the bar, it gets all sticky. The good thing is it's not very thick. So got that sorted real quickly. When it's windy, I don't do a lot of hands-free stuff. That's what I'm telling you. I say squirt it out when I pop the cap on it, the little top. You see my right pocket's going down. We've been eating. Left that scene with the gel in because some people had asked, do you eat? I've never seen you eat on the ride. Yeah, we eat. We're out there for hours. Of course we're going to eat. We eat a lot. As your volume increases, you're going to have to consume more calories. I'm dodging the little cracks. That's what you see. I'm using my hips. Just dodging the little cracks on the road, trying to find the smoothest pavement. Like you're practicing bike handling. This road is so peaceful. I have nothing but good memories of it when we came across the trail ride and we headed the direction you see that car coming. In a short while, we're gonna do a U-turn and head south. We're headed north now. Paul just wanted to check this out, and I thought it was cool because heading the other way, there's so much more climbing, and we came out here to do hills. This is how you drop weight. You gotta ride your bike. There are no shortcuts. You have to allocate more time to yourself to work on your health. Because sitting around is just not good for the body. The human body is a machine. You have to use it.
Right here.
So Paul is calling the grades out.
Kidding me.
He can't believe it because the road seems flat. And so when the head unit tells you 2.8 and it seems flat, but it feels like you're climbing. So right here, we go ahead and turn around.
We're going to Richardson. It's cold.
It's really cold.
All right.
It feels like 2C, if that. I mean, just the wind. You know, so we turn around, we're headed southbound now on Base Chapel Road, the same road. And this way, there's just so much more climbing. and we get excited. So our plan is to work these climbs, just to ride them, not get bogged down. We're in a small chain ring. You don't need to kill yourself to get in shape. When it's time to go harder, your body will remember. So you need to teach your body to ride properly. Keep your form and work those muscles. Keeping the gears light will help you handle the bike properly and teach your body to be smooth. There's another one, another climb up there. So I pulled a neck warmer over my face because it made a difference in regulating my temperature. These hills look impressive. You get on them and then you feel it.
Undiscovered territory. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Look at this bad boy right here.
This one got to like 7%.
5.8, 6.2, 6.8, 7.2, my brother.
Yeah.
Kidding me? 7.8.
I'm looking at the grade. I have a display of the grade and cadence side by side on my head unit. I'm just walking the bike here. Nice steady tempo. When it's time to go faster, you'll be ready. You just have to train your body to be able to tolerate. You see how long I've been standing? It just felt good. I got a rhythm going. You just stay with it. Just walk the bike. Take the bike for a walk.
That's the road bed. That's it. That's the cedar loop.
Yeah.
Okay, they got this thing there, you got this garbage can, you got this thing. That's the loop, it's not one. I will look up the name.
This is
of
the
this
road.
one, 'cause it might be different. Wow. We have discovered.
You can see
Continuing this
how few cars you see here.
No.
So next time, anytime we go to Richards, we're gonna take this route.
calling out.
It's a little longer, but it's so
This is
much
what
quieter.
you do on a Saturday morning.
Paul's getting excited. It is Saturday. What are you gonna do?
It is Saturday.
That's
Yeah.
Katie. Katie said it is Saturday. Because Mo wanted to know how long they wanted to go, how far. And she said it is Saturday, meaning
Explore.
this is the day to go long. I have never done 200 kilometers in one day before. We ended up doing 201 on this day. The ride just got longer and longer. We didn't plan to do 8 hours. We just had so much fun. We're out there. We just did more. We ended up stopping and sending texts to our wives, letting them know we're gonna be home at 4:30. I told them we're gonna stop for lunch. But we basically had our lunch in our pockets. And then you will see the jerky. We bought some jerky on this ride. We ended up liking it so much, my wife went to the Sam's Wholesale Club and bought us some Jack Links. It's just a better deal there than, you know, what they have in Richards. You see how visible that pink is? On a cloudy day, you got to wear stuff that people can see. I have lights on the bike, of course. From this angle, you really can't. The camera can't keep up with that light. That light beeps like 3 times faster than the shutters of the camera. So every so often, you will see it light up. But it's on, and it can be. Yeah, you can see that right there. It's like lightning. It's visible. It's like we're in the middle of nowhere. It's just beautiful out here. Nothing but cows and dogs and possums, and you know, it's cool. I may have mentioned that earlier because that's all that's out where we go. Just the animals, you know. Most people are not home. See the guy tractor over there. The pasture, people own pasture. So you have very few houses out here. You got one person that might own acres of land. So that's one car maybe. Whereas in town, everybody's got apartments and cars. Cars galore. Look at the hill in the distance. I always say B-E-A, beautiful. Got that from the movie Bruce Almighty. The character was played by Jim Carrey. I like that movie. This road is always like this. It's not because it's Saturday. We've come here. Every time we've been here, this is nothing out here. You come out and get a good workout. Downshift over there, you can see my cadence went up. This road is going up and is long. So what I do is I err on the side of a lower gear to ride into the climb. You can always shift up if you need to. I much rather start with a lower gear. When there's a doubt, I shift down. Keeps you more supple. So if I were riding with an aggressive group, I'd probably be using a higher ratio, but the process will be the same. But we want to enjoy this climb. That's why we're not killing it. That's like the third car maybe. And we're there for a while. Paul is on my left. That's why you see where I am.
Yep.
The wind's coming from the right. See, this has been a long climb. I asked Paul, a part of the ride, I said, who said we didn't have long climbs in Texas? And this road will take us back to the main highway 149 outside of the forest, which is a few kilometers outside of Richards, Texas. We're south of Richards, Texas. We took the roundabout way because these roads are quieter than the main highway. You know, it's just boring just being on the main highway. So it was just a nice change and we fell in love with it. So every time we come out here, we're going to use these back roads. You get a good workout and it's just peaceful. So this is the highway. Paul had recognized there was some voting booth here on the left.
That's where I was thinking. It says voting. You see?
Yeah.
Voting box.
That's the chapel, I believe. Yeah, it's a voting booth. I know there's a chapel on the road. I don't know if that's the chapel, but I'd have to look. Because they have a Bays Chapel cemetery. We went to that too. We didn't film that.
Beautiful.
So we're heading towards Richards. Richards is just a few kilometers up the road. You will see when we get outside of, I think this is Montgomery County. Yeah, Montgomery County. See how nice the road is. When we hit Grimes County, you will see the difference. It goes to chip seal. Big difference. Montgomery County has higher population. They spend more on the roads than Grimes County. There's another county out here called Walker, further east. Their roads are pretty bad too. They just don't have the funding like the bigger county. Montgomery and Harris are one of the two larger counties in the area. Harris County is the biggest in the Houston area. This is the main highway 149 north and south between Montgomery and Richards. That's the guy who was parked by the side of the road there. Not sure why he stopped there. Wasn't the best place to stop. I let Paul know it's on. Get in. The wind's coming from the right and in our face. See the difference? That's the chip seal. This is Grimes County. We're heading into Richards. So we leave Montgomery County and this is slightly downhill and it kicks up there and curves to the left. So all the climbing we've been doing, I figure we can enjoy this part of the road. It's about to level off. It's gonna level off. Where I am is very smooth. I don't have to deal with the chip seal in that spot. It's just black asphalt and it's smooth as a baby's behind. That's why I'm riding there. I keep the gears reasonable and keep my cadence up. We're going into the wind here. If you look at my kit, it's barely moving. That's the way they designed the Pro Team line. Hugs your body. I'm wearing 2 base layers and the Pro Team thermal jersey. And it just stays in place. The quality stuff just works. If you can get them, you should. You always have to look for the smoothest part of the road to use. You get to enjoy the road. It's beautiful right on that spot. The tracks are uneven here. Got some gaps. So I look for the best spot to get over. And we enter downtown Richards.
So much more interesting way to come to Richards.
Yep.
Let's see what we get to the store.
Yep.
This is the way to come to Richards. If you like
curve that's coming up, when we turn right, the road kicks up a bit. Where that car is. Downtown Richards.
Yeah, there we go.
They sell antiques in there. Back in the day, the boys come to town with their horses. This was the main street. Richards, Texas. Just the community center.
Wow.
Looks like the money left Richards a long time ago.
This is Richards.
A lot of these towns are still thriving. You know, they got some farms and so forth. Few people still living here.
Here's our stop.
This is the main grocery store.
Finally here.
Keep running. I want to film that porta potty.
Yeah.
And that jerky.
And I'm going to film this
What you gotta do, my brother? You know me. I'll come over with something.
here.
Oh,
Bike
yeah.
riders keep bike off the box, the ice box.
Good idea.
We lean our bikes here sometimes. That's why the sign is here.
Yeah, because people want to buy ice, the box are in the way. Because they sell ice. So if you put your bike here and people want to open this door to buy the ice, that just makes sense. So they ask us not to do that. And then we go over here. They have a porta potty here. They don't have a restroom inside. That's the porta potty there. We use that to pee over there. And so we're gonna go inside. Let's see if they got jerky. Let me film it before I turn this off.
Yeah.
You sure your bike's secure, my brother?
Yeah, it should be. The tires touching, the thing is touching.
Okay, let's see if they have the jerky. Then we'll decide, and I'll turn this off. Hello. You guys have that good jerky? Yeah, they do. Cool. This is for the guys on the channel. Let me put this on follow.
This is what we had the last time. We
Hold
came
on.
back for more.
Let me put it on follow. Can you push that? You got better handling.
This-
Just once, the bottom,
The bottom.
the mood. Yeah,
Okay.
stop. Okay. Hey guys, this is the jerky we had. It was a lifesaver on Wednesday. This sucker's good. It went up. Come on, it was 270 something.
Some
Did
of
they
them-
add more to it? Oh, there's more in there. Okay. You guys are killing us.
Wow, these are 4.
Well, it's different.
This is
It's probably about weight. That's the 270 something.
270.
But get the bigger one. I have a taste for them today for some reason. So that's the jerky, guys. That's what we
these
had.
Are 3.
3 something,
Yeah,
340.
these are the cheapest ones.
Okay, that's fine. Just get one that has at least 3. So this is the Richard's Grocery. You want me to get? Do we? I don't need any drink. Do you need a drink?
No.
Okay, so we're just gonna get jerky then. So let me show the guys. This is like a regular store, you know, out in Richards, Texas. There's not a whole lot of people live here, but this is where we come and we get these guys. Whatever's on sale, you can see it's on sale. So okay.
So at this point, we are south of Dallas, Texas, heading towards Mount Moriah Road. We decided to film this new road for you guys and girls. Mount Moriah.
Mount Moriah Road. We gotta
Newly opened. They added 2 new bridges. Got rid of some wooden bridges that used to be there. Quiet road. So they updated the bridges. The bridges over a couple of creeks. And so now we can use it. This is 5 hours into our day. And we're more than 70 kilometers from home. I think something like that. This road is up and down. You come here for a workout. Very few cars. There are two bridges within probably 10, 20 yards of each other that they were working on, and so this road has been closed. When it rains, the water gets over the road because the creeks overflow. If you look to the right, you will see water. And as we go over the creek, you can't really tell with the brush on the side, but you might be able to spot water over there. Yeah, to the right, looks like a lake. The little creeks, and that's where all that debris was from the rains we've had. This is the first bridge they've built. They got rid of wooden bridges. Quite a few roads we traverse around, they have wooden bridges from back in the day. This is the second bridge on Little Caney Creek. And so when these creeks fill up, they go over the road. The bridge can only do so much. That's why you saw the debris earlier on the other one we passed. So they've improved them to where they're now updated and the road is accessible once again. Look at the hill in the distance. It ended up being a section of that hits 8%. It may not record correctly on the overlay, but it was on my head unit. And I was reading it out to Paul as we approached. When you're doing a long ride, don't kill yourself, especially in training. It's not a race. Drop your gear. You don't want to be baby gear, but you want to be able to ride the hills with supple legs. Souplesse, they call it. You want to be smooth. It's 2% here, and it's just going to keep going up, and it's going to kick to the left. That's why we like this road. And this is more than about 80 kilometers from where we live. We ride out here just to do these. Look at that. You can see it kicking up. It hit about 8% around here.
Oh yeah.
It was 8% back there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, the entire thing is not 8%, but when you get there, you feel it in your legs for however long it is.
When he's doing those back to backs.
Yeah.
Them trolleys. These boys. 8%.
At its peak. Look at these roads.
No car.
I said no car. In a little while, one car comes, but yeah, the premise is that there's just not much traffic on these roads. So we get on the highways to get out here, but we don't spend 8 hours on some busy highway. That's boring. We use the highways to connect us to these roads. There's a bunch of them out here. There's another area called Tri-Lakes. We didn't film it today, but next time we'll film it. You can ride for like 16 kilometers and be in an area like this and do loops if you wanted to. So many choices out here. So yeah, we head out on Fish Creek, Honia, Egypt, but once we get out, we don't do the same roads. We hit different things depending on your mood. And then every time you come, depending on the wind, it's completely different. Since we know we've got another 90 kilometers to ride, that's the one car thing. I don't know how many cars passed up, but you can count it on one hand. Since we have more than 90 kilometers to ride, we're taking it easy. We're using reasonable gears. You have to have a plan. You have to have strategy, even when you ride with others. Ride with a purpose.
Who said we didn't have long climbs?
Think again.
We'll take you out.
Oh yeah.
So after that one, you got another one. So you have to prepare yourself.
Ah.
And in the summer, when we come out here, the temperature out here is a lot more tolerable than in the city. It's always cooler out here. And yet another one. That's all I'm telling Paul. He's laughing.
This is what we came here for.
This is my second time on this road. The first time we came with Team RR, and I really enjoyed the road. If you look at my feet, you can see I'm pulling up. The pink really makes it stand out. That's where my emphasis is. Pulling back from the bottom, kicking back and bringing my leg up. And because the wind is coming from in our face and to the right, Paul is on my left, because we worked on that. I have thoroughly fallen in love with the Vittoria Evo CX. They just sink when you ride. They're not the toughest tires, but man, they feel fast, and it's just a joy to ride. Especially with the latex tubes. They feel close to tubular tires. So I'm using my cadence and then yet another hill. You have to ride like that so you keep your legs supple as the hills are coming, as Phil Liggett says, thick and fast. And Paul says, take it or kick it. He says something and I decide I'm going to give it a tester here. I didn't realize it was as long as it ended up being. So I dropped the power a bit. Messing around. It's fun.
Try it without the parent supervision. Shoot. Woo!
Paul said, don't try this at home without your parents' supervision.
Wow.
What else you gonna do on a Saturday?
What else you gonna do on a Saturday? It is Saturday. You need a long ride in. So what if it's rainy or cold? Come on, toughen up, harden up, get out there. No excuses. Mount Moriah Road.
You're not kidding.
Beautiful.
It's some serious punishment on a Saturday morning. Yeah. Richard's what?
So you got brother Richard?
But I'm here. Come get some. Whatever you have left over, bring it. Woo!
What we do on Saturday?
You're not kidding. Oh yeah. The legs are screaming bloody murder.
Yeah, my legs were screaming. They're like, what are you doing? We got 3 hours to go.
Yeah.
You see, my pockets are nice and flat on the right. All that foods has been consumed. There's some still left, some gels and stuff. Oh yeah, we're eating. Spent pretty much the whole day on the bike on Saturday. It was cool. Look at this road. We've had 2 cars pass. Victoria Evo CX. I thoroughly enjoy riding those tires. There's the 3rd car coming. I can hear them when I'm riding. I use my ears a lot. I listen, my hearing. I can hear cars coming before they even get close. It's important. I know some people ride with earphones and some people may put it in one ear. When I'm out there, I want to hear what's happening out there. I just enjoy that. And I feel like anything else technologically is an intrusion. If I want to listen to music, I do it at home. When I'm on the bike, I want to hear the birds chirping, squirrels running around, whatever else, the dogs barking. It's just what's out there. And so a lot of times I will hear a car before they're even close.
I'm brother, this was serious.
That's Mount Moriah Road. Don't mess with her.
Mount Moriah. Don't mess with Mount Moriah. She will spank you and spit you out.
She requires respect.
Gotta respect the
that.
road. That's what Paul says. Respect the road.
Remember that.
So we're passed by a whopping total of 4 cars. I don't know how long this road is, but it's at least 10 kilometers. And in this area, this region, that's a miracle because this is car country. So after the credits run, you'll see we hit a major highway 105 and kind of wrap it up there. But this is part of what we did on Saturday. We did another 3 hours
I want to bring them to the
after
stop.
Mount Moriah.
That way they see the whole shebang.
That's 105 that goes west to College Station, Texas.
Stop sign is the
And
finish
east
line.
will take us back to Montgomery and into Conroe if you're headed that far east. So if you did not get a chance to get out this weekend, get on your trainer, get outside, keep moving, keep those doctors fired, move your
Stop
body.
sign.
This is what we did, a part of what we did on Saturday.
There we are.
Our first
Crossing.
200 plus kilometer ride in one day. Get moving.